Good morning, students. Today we are going to start session 5. Yesterday we already discussed waterfall model and classical waterfall model. Software lifecycle models. Hmm. However, all of these models are having the same phases of working, that is feasibility study, requirement analysis and specifications, design, coding, testing and maintenance. But they only different methods of their implementation. The basically the models will be represent they are getting in their styles to get their results. Each and every model they have their own implementations. Everywhere the models will be represent to get get their goals. Examples I can say you. Yesterday also we discussed example of building a house. Our main aim is to construct a building. So when construct a building in India or somewhere else or the world, the building goal is equal, but the way of style of construction is different. That's why each and every building having different styles of constructions. That is the difference of view and inner part of two bedroom, three bedroom, single bedroom, and dining hall. So like that, the difference is implementation of construction a building is same. Only the difference is inner part and the outer part view is changes. Like here also the models will be represent the models will represent reaching the goal with their own style. So we go for briefly explanation of classical waterfall model. Yesterday also we discussed the classical waterfall model. This model is based off all other models. This model divides the life cycle of the software development process in the following phases. One is feasibility study. Second one is requirements analysis and specification. Third one is design. Fourth one is coding and unit testing. Fifth one is integration and system testing. Sixth one is maintenance. We now discuss the various activities carried out during each phase of the cycle. Feasibility study. During this phase, we generally study the two types of feasibilities. One is financial feasibility, another one is technical feasibility. The financial feasibility will fulfill the requirements to reach the goal, and we also estimate the project cost to complete under the various resources. In technical feasibility, it is tested that if the result is collected, which forms the input to the further system. Requirement analysis and specification. During the requirement analysis and specification phase, the exact requirements of the customer are analyzed on the proper documentation mentioned. The requirements is prepared. Here the two main activities performed during these phases are requirement analysis and requirement specifications. Design. After requirement analysis and specification, we go for the preparing the SRS documentation. Here the SRS means whatever the software requirements and specifications that are used in design phase that are implemented in the SRS documentation. Here the designing, we will use the two methods. One is the traditional design approach, second one is the object oriented design approach. Coding and unit testing. After designing part is over, we start the coding and unit testing phase of the software development in translate completed. So when the design and the SRS document specifications based on the requirements of the SRS document specifications, we start the coding, and each and every modules we are design code generating the coding. That module we can call it as a unit. Individual each and every module we go for the testing. The coding phase is also sometimes called as the implementation phase. Each components of a design is implemented as a program modules. The end product of this phase is set programs modules that have been individually tested. After coding is each module is tested, then we go for the unit test. It involves the testing each module separately from other modules, then debugging and documenting it. It is the most efficient way to debug errors identified at this stage. We already discussed about the debugging. Debugging means finding the errors in the stage of coding. So next one, integration and system testing. During the unit testing, various test cases and testing criteria are prepared for testing correct working of individual modules. Now in this phase, the modules implemented in the implementation phase are integrated together and tested. So in the previously, the fourth module, coding and implementation, their individual modules are the sub programmings are designed and developing and testing. Here the sub programming or the modules are going to be integrated, that is adding the sub programs into a single program, then implementing in the result oriented goal. In these testing modules, integration one by one is step, and after each addition of one module, the resulting system is tested again and again. The function of testing is to verify that after the integration of new models, the system is working correctly or not. When modules have been successfully integrated and system testing is carried out. Here we are using as a traditional process to integrating one module by one module. When adding the new module to previous already tested module, again when integrating these two, again we go for the testing. After successfully completing of that one, again we add one more module, again it is testing. That is called as a integration testing. So that when two subprograms are going to be add, two subprograms are going to be add, definitely we will get some errors that we will be rectified, and again it will be executed. In system testing, the functions of the system testing is to be ensure that the development system conforms to its requirement specifications in SRS document. System testing consisting of three different kinds of testing activities. One is alpha testing, second one is beta testing, third one is acceptance testing. In alpha testing is the system testing performed by the developers team. So who are going to be developed? They will test. That testing is called as a alpha testing. For the beta testing, set of customers are going to be test. That testing is called as a beta testing. And third one is acceptance testing. This is a system testing performed by the customer himself after the product delivery to determine whether to accept the delivered product or to reject it. Next, system testing is carried out according to the system test plan document, which was prepared during the requirement specification phase. After completion of the testing, we giving as a maintenance. Maintenance of a software product requires much more effort than the effort necessary to develop the product itself. The ratio of effort of development system and its maintenance is about 240 to 60%. There are three types of maintenances: adaptive maintenances, perfective maintenances, and corrective maintenances. So advantages of It is simple to use and understand. Each stage has well-defined deliverable or milestone. Required amount of resources are minimal. Phases are processed and completed one at a time. Works well for smaller projects where the requirements are very well understood. Disadvantages: small changes or errors that arise in the complete software may cause a lot of problems. Client is not very clear of what he exactly wants from the software, only able to use when the requirements are fixed. High amount of risk and uncertainty. Poor model for long and ongoing project. So next model is iterative waterfall model. This model leads the software development process in iterations. It projects the process of development in a cycle manner, repeating every step after every cycle of SDLC process. SDLC means software development life cycle. The software is first developed on a very small scale and all the steps are followed which are taken into the consideration. Then on every next iteration, more features and models are designed, coded, testing and added to the software. Every cycle produces a software which is complete in itself and has more features and capabilities than that of the previous one. In iterative waterfall model, it making as a cycle like that we already seen in the C program, that is a recursion. The function calls itself. That means when the completing of the developing cycle, again it is again circle model, it is a rotation. See the n minus 1, the diagram, see the n diagram. Testing and verification, again it goes to the iteration n. There again designing, coding, testing and verification, and again n plus 1, again it is going for the design, coding, then testing and verification. Each and every time it is checking the four things. That is a one module phase, it is taking as a design, coding, testing, verification. When moving to another model, again it is making as a design, coding, testing and verification, so that we will get the good results, but it is a time taken process. See the advantages of iterative waterfall model. Advantages: it is a much better model of the software process. It allows feedback to producing stages. It can be used for the project wherein the requirements are not well understood. In the iterative models, less time is spent on documenting and more time is given for designing. Is useful when the project is large size. Disadvantage: it is not easy to manage this model. No clear milestones in the development process. No stage is really finished. The number of resources required are more. Exit criteria for the software are unknown. Not applicable for smaller project. Next one is spiral model. Spiral model is a combination of both iterative model and one of the SDLC model. It can be seen as if you choose one SDLC model and combine it with a cyclic process. This model considers risk which often goes unnoticed by most other models. The model starts with determining objective and constraining of the software at the start of the one iteration. Next phase is of prototyping the software. This includes risk analysis. The one understood by the SDLC model is used to build the software. In the fourth phase of the plan of the next iteration is prepared. Here it is a spiral, means it is a type of circle. See, the diagram is I am going to enlarge. The initial part is the 0 where I can the initial part of the circle is a 0. It is going to be circular way by when the release, the arrow mark is showing as a release. In this way we are getting as a, the starting is at the middle of the location, that is 0 location. You can see the x-axis and y-axis, the midpoint is 0. There when it starts, it is covering the risk management, prototypes, design, code, integration, test, implementation. After that we getting as a result. In this, when it is going to stages, the circle will be covering all the phases of cumulative cost, alternative evaluation, product development, next phase planning, and object identification. So advantages and disadvantages of the spiral model. Advantages: every time a new prototype is updated, it is reevaluated again and again by the customer, so more customers involvement is there. Better productivity through reuse capabilities. Proper control over cost, time, and manpower requirements for a project work. Disadvantages: this model requires risk identification, its project projection, risk assessment, and management, which is not an easy task. Cost and the time estimations are also not very easy. This model is not so sustainable. This model is not suitable for small projects as the cost of risk analysis is greater than cost of the entire project. Next one is prototyping model. The prototyping model is a system development method in which a prototype is built, testing, and then revoked as necessary until an acceptable prototype is finally achieved, from which the complete system or the product can now be developed. See the diagram of flow chart of prototyping model. Here we are having the phases of quick plan, quick design, constructing a prototype, development, delivery, feedback, communication. Here in the prototyping, we can call it is a prototype means it's a rules or specifications to develop any software or a system. We need a specifications. That specifications will be built by using the prototype, and when it finally achieved, then that's a complete system or the product can now be developed. We can go for discussing of all the things like a quick plan. So how we can get the development or the gathering the communications information. Communication means whatever the users requirement, and the development and delivery feedback. The phase starts with quick plan, quick design, construction of prototype, development, delivery feedback, communication. Advantages and disadvantages of prototype model. Cost effective, development cost reduced, increased system development speed, enable a higher output for users. Users are actively involved in the development. Users get a better understanding of the system being developed. Disadvantages: project management is difficulty, not suitable for large applications, often lack flexibility, possibility of implementing systems before they are ready, possibility of causing system to be unfinished. Producer might produce a system indicative for overall organization needs. It is suitable for the small projects so that cost will be very low, and this prototyping we can integration the system development speed also, and whatever the outputs for the users will be easily developed. And here the users are actively involved in the development cell because see the communication, quick plan, communication and development delivery feedback, there is a circle we form here, so that the communication users communication will involvement in development, so that we can get the better results. Next, elementary model. The elementary model is suitable for large projects which can be decomposed into a set of modules for incremental development and delivery. This model is widely used in object-oriented development projects. This model is only used if the incremental delivery of the system is acceptable to the customer. See the diagram, elementary process model, specification, development and validation. This is mainly important in the activities. So there it will be connecting as the initial version and the intermediate version and final version. That is, we are giving as a communication to the user by using a little bit. We start with the version 0 or version 1.0. In the intermediate version we give as a 2.0, and finally we give as a final 3.1 or something version. So the outline description means when their project is developing, they can give the suggestions or the feedback to the specification team or the development team or the validation. This concurrency, or we can call as a concurrent activities, based on the specification given by the outline description or the target of the goal. There we can deliver these steps. Initially we can giving as a beta testing, that is a beta testing we can give as a initial version, after that intermediate version and the final version. Advantages: as each version produced in this model is a functional system capable of performing some useful work. So when various versions of the system is delivered to the user from time to time, user got the chance to study the partial development system. After development of each new versions of the system, testing takes place as each module of the product get testing thoroughly. Hence, chances of errors in the final product get reduced. When you are using the elementary model, the main advantages is each module of the product get truly testing, so that the final delivering of the product, the errors will be less. For the disadvantages, this model can only be used for very large projects, which can be used for very large projects subdivided into models that can be implemented independent of each others. Even for very large projects, it is very difficult to subdivide the problem into several functions, units that can be incrementally this system. Comparison of different life cycle models. The first feature of the model is understanding the requirements or requirement specifications in waterfall model, beginning, spiral model, beginning, prototype model, not well understood at the beginning, iterative model, well understood at the beginning. For duration, waterfall model is long, spiral model is long, prototype model is long, and iterative model not very long. So next we go for the cost. The one waterfall model is low, remaining are the cost for expensive, high and medium. Cost control, waterfall model is S, almost S spiral model, and a prototyping and iterative model there is no cost control. Documentation training required, and next guarantees of success, initial product feel, client satisfaction, risk involvement, user involvement, flexibility, simplicity, integrity and security, maintenance, overlaying phases, and implementation. So go through the slowly. Read at least 5 features so that you can write. It is a very important question. 5 or 6 features you can read it and find the difference in 6 specifications. So next one is SRS, different terms and concept. SRS is a software requirement specification. SRS is used to implement the user requirements in project. Software architecture, the requirement specification mentioned in the SRS document is transferred into the structural form. This structural form is a software architecture. Testing, testing is a system testing performed by the development team. Prototype, a prototype is likely a toy of the actual system which have low reliability, less functionalities and less performance. Meta model, a model includes the features of all the models, so it can be viewed as a meta model. Unit testing, in this testing each module tested separately from other module, then debugging and documenting. System testing, the functions of system testing is to ensure that the development system conforms to its requirements specified in SRS document. Acceptance testing, acceptance testing is a system testing performed by the customer himself after the product delivery to determine whether to accept the delivered product or to reject it. Integration testing, in integration testing modules are integrated one by one in step, and after each addition of one module the resulting system is to verify that after the integration of a new modules the system is working correctly or not. Phase containment of errors, the principle of detection errors as close its point of introduction as possible is called as a phase containment of errors. Read these points again. It is a one line statement, or we can call it a definition of a some of the terms. Everyone should read. Okay, thank you.